Allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, I'd like to call on Pastor David De La Cruz to give the invocation.
Would you bow your heads with me for a word of prayer? Father, we are so grateful to gather together this morning. We thank you that you are the creator and sustainer of all life. We are grateful for the men and women who have chosen to stand to protect life, to protect our rights, to serve our cities, our towns, and our state. I pray that as we gather today, that you would bless us with your presence. Let our meeting be orderly, but let it be productive as well. We pray today, God, we walk away with a greater vision for our state and for our own cities and towns. Bless this meeting, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Now you get to listen to me for a minute. Thank you all for coming. This is my last meeting as state party chair. Woohoo! Yes. I am happily willing to hand over this gavel to someone else. I'm very happy. It actually looks like the coronavirus slide. So I think that highlights what my past 2 years have been like. Anyway, I would personally like to thank Steve Frias, Leanne Senek, Russ Bergeron, Dave Talon, Dave Shepard, Will Ritchie, Phil Hirons, Brandon Bell, and Dan Riley. Each and every city and town chair and member of the RI GOP who gave their time, talent, and treasure these past 4 years. But I really want to highlight one person in particular who could not make it today, and that's Leanne Senek. She was our National Committeewoman from 2014 to 2023. Leanne was an awesome partner. And she sat on resolutions, rules, the Committee on Arrangements, and the Platform Committee for the National Party in 2016. She was admired for her work ethic nationally, her commitment to the Republican ideals, and she's just, as many of you know, just a warm and engaging person. Please join me in giving Leanne a standing ovation. I'd also like to thank the RNC for supporting us these past 4 years, and specifically in helping us fund our executive director, Jesus Solorio. Now, that funding has stopped at the end of this week. So if you want to keep an executive director, don't forget to go onto our website and donate to the RIGOP. Because as God helps those who help themselves, and it's up to each and every one of us if we want to keep an executive director to fund that position. It was integral this past year as we went into the election cycle to have somebody in that role. So please do that. I'd also like to say thank you to our regional political director, Phil, who's out in the background, back there. What an awesome job he did. And in fact, we've already begun our training for the election cycle in 2024. Last night, Phil started with the training for our candidates, and we're already in the thick of the election for 2024. You know, as I look back on the past 4 years, there were some mistakes that we made and some great moments in the RIGOP. We should be so proud of the quality of the candidates that stepped up to run in 2022. So now it's time. We got to move forward to 2024. Where do we go from here? The only way we're going to go forward is to continue what we did, and that's united. United we stand, divided we will fall. Okay? save our state. When people are desperately trying to separate us into different groups, the only way forward to victory is through unity. Although some of us in this room may have ideological differences, we are intrinsically interconnected with others in the human race. We do not have to be ideologically aligned to each other. What we need to do is stand together as one. Remember, freedom is our birthright here. We do not have to fall apart. Do not fall apart with things that may divide us. So swallow your pride and work with somebody that may be a little bit different from you so that we can move forward. We are not powerless. The only thing that is stopping us is us. So let's get together for our mutually beneficial relationships with others and activate our innate ability to come up with solutions to make this state better. Everything in our life is about the relationships that we develop with people, and our communications will be key to success. So real change will begin with ourselves, and we can make that change. How bad does it have to get in Rhode Island to accept change? Guess what? That's up to each and every one of you in this room. So let's go forward and win some races in 2020. Next up is Steve Frias to give the National Committeewoman report.
Hi everyone, I'm going to have a quick report here. Instead of talking about the national stuff, I just want to talk about Sue and working with her, because this is our organizing meeting. I've worked with a number of chairmen over the year in different capacities, and talk a little bit about Sue. You know, a lot of state parties, they have full-time paid chairpersons. In this state for the last 4 years, we have had a full-time unpaid chairperson. That's dedication. I would say that I've been doing this since I was like a college Republican, so that's now unfortunately a long time ago. And I've very few chairpersons I have said that has put this much time in, worked this hard, and never got a penny out of it. Okay? That's some great dedication. And sometimes when it comes to hard work, you know, it doesn't always pay off, unfortunately, but Sue did, in her hard work, in networking, she did bring one of the largest financial contributions we have received from the RNC. We had a full-time executive director before CD2 opened up. That was primarily her work, her efforts to get that to happen. Like I said, that's not easy to do. And the third thing I want to mention about Sue is this. As many of you know, 4 years ago, we had a pretty divisive chairperson's election. And Sue emerged out of that race. Sometimes these elections are so divisive, people hold grudges, and people hold things against each other. Sue didn't hold grudges. She helped build bridges. And in 2022, we have been one of the most united parties that we've been in probably about 30 years. And part of that comes a lot from Sue, how she conducts herself, how she tried to bring people together. We didn't do as well as we wanted to in 2022, but that's not because we were all fractured, because we're all fighting each other. Sometimes we've lost an election because of a stupid primary or nastiness in a primary. Sue helped unite us in 2022 to avoid divisive primaries, and she was a major role in that. So I want to say thank you, Sue, for everything you did. And on behalf of the officers and exec committee, what I do is I give our party chairperson a parting gift, which is they don't get this gavel anymore. They get a commemorative gavel with their name and their time in office. So thank you, Sue, for what you've done for us. I look forward to working with you, assuming that you are elected National Committeewoman. Thank you again.
What? I don't get paid? Next up, Credential Committee report by John Perduti.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and let me also add my congratulations to you on a very successful conclusion to your term, and wish you all the best in the next cycle. The Credentials Committee has met and has approved all of the delegate and alternate lists that you from the cities and towns have all submitted. I want to thank all of you for promptly submitting your delegate list to us. We try to be as accommodative as possible to make sure that all of you who intend to be present and vote have that right to do so, where everything is verified. The committee has met and has verified all of the submitted delegates and has approved them. I want to particularly thank Mary Lou Sanborn for doing an excellent job in gathering. And also to Jesus Solorio, our executive director, who's been on top of all of the lists as they've been changing in real time. So thank you very much. That being said, the Credentials Committee has approved the voting list you all have registered, and I wish all of us a very successful convention today, and that's the end of my report.
Next up, the Nominating Committee report by Paul Durfee.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, let me first say that I was very impressed by the quality of the candidates that came forward to head the RI GOP. We're heading in the right direction for 2024. On Sunday, March 12th, the nominating committee met to interview candidates, and these endorsements are the result. I'll start with the uncontested races. Secretary, Mary Lou Sanborn. Treasurer, Lance Chappelle. National Committeewoman, Susie Yankee. The next office of Vice Chair was contested. There were 3 candidates: Scott Bilhurst, David Talon, and Nayoka Powell. Nayoka Powell is the party's endorsement. But first, Vice Chair, we have Jessica Drew Day and Russ Herzum. Russ Herzum has the nomination. And for Chairman, Joe Powers and Gio Ciccione. And Gio Ciccione has the endorsement. And that's it. Thank you very much, folks.
Okay, next we do the candidate nominations. Again, for Chair, Gio Ciccione, Joe Powers. First Vice Chair, Russ Herzum, Jessica Drew Day. Second Vice Chair is Dave Talon, Scott Bilhurst, Nicoya Powell. Treasurer, Lance Chappelle. Secretary, Mary Lou Sanborn. National Committeewoman, Susie Yankee. So I'd like to call up the people that will put the names into nomination. Gio, Mayor Ken Hopkins, and Gio will be second. There is a stairway up there, so please come in and put the names into nominations. The stairway over here, and come on up. Whiskey. Okay, there it is.
Thank you. First of all, on behalf of the city of Cranston, I'd like to thank Sue continued success. We've been friends for a long time, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for your efforts. Hi, my name is Ken Hopkins. I am the mayor of the great city of Cranston, Rhode Island. I stand before you this morning to nominate Gio Ciccione for chair of the Rhode Island GOP. Gio is not only a Cranston native and a proud graduate of Cranston High School East, go Bolts. He has served on Republican committees in Providence, Cranston, and Barrington, offering a lifetime of activism for our party. Importantly, he served 2 terms in the role that he seeks today, state party chair. He was one of the most effective state chairs in recent history in terms of recruiting strong candidates and getting Republicans elected, particularly to the Rhode Island General Assembly. We need his experience now more than ever. He is a proven leader, a team builder, a true believer in Ronald Reagan's big tent vision of the Republican Party. He has the proven ability to bring like-minded people into our Republican family and to solicit the donors, volunteers, and candidates that we need to succeed. I hope you'll stand with me, our legislative leadership, with our nominating committee and my Cranston GOP, with many grassroots activists who will be voting for Gio here today. The Rhode Island Republican Party is at a critical point. We have an open congressional seat, a vital presidential contest, and General Assembly races that we must win for the sake of our state. This is not a time for learning on the job. This is a time for a Republican victory. I ask you again to please vote for Gio for chair. Thank you so much.
And to second the nomination, Gio.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Sue, and the rest of the Executive Committee. I appreciate the opportunity to be here again. Thank you to all the members who come out on a Saturday morning to elect new leadership for this party. It is a thankless job that all of you have, especially in Rhode Island, but we do it because we care. We do it because we have strongly held beliefs about where this state needs to go, and we believe that we have the path forward for Rhode Island. I will not give you a rehash of everything that I've already told you by email or in person at your meetings or on the phone, as many of us talked over the last few weeks. I will just try to emphasize the urgency that I see ahead of us. We have an opportunity that comes along very rarely, not just an open congressional seat, but an open congressional seat in a special election. We have proven again and again over decades that special elections are good for Republicans in Rhode Island. It is when we shine, it is when people pay attention to what it is we're saying and what it is we're trying to do. So I encourage you to think very seriously about that race, the candidate, whomever that might be that we put up to challenge for that open seat deserves every last bit of support that we can give him or her. It is not something we want to do part way. We need to be able to get out there immediately in the next few months, have the best candidate come forward, and have the systems in place to get that candidate's votes. We all know how to get elections done. We all know what we have to do. It's about coming together, being unified as a party, getting behind our candidate, and doing everything we can to get voters to listen to something that they generally don't want to pay attention to. Right? Politics has turned a lot of people off. We have nearly half our state unaffiliated right now. It's because of the pettiness of politics that they focus on. It's our job to focus them on the importance of politics, what it means for every working Rhode Islander, for families, for kids in failing schools in the city, in the cities. We have a lot of issues that we can win on, and it is time for us to get out there and make it happen. So I ask you respectfully for your support in this race for chair. I know the party will do well. Whatever the results today, we have some amazing candidates. Joe has been a wonderful person to campaign with over the last few weeks. I have great respect for him, and I hope all of us in this room, no matter what the result, stay involved. But I do ask, given the urgency of this race and the upcoming General Assembly races, to go with a proven factor. We can do well, and I ask for your support. Thank you.
Joe Powers, Rudy Hopkins, and Joe Powers. Stairs over there. And we can line up for first vice chair, Will and Russ and Alan Myers and Senator Rogers. Just line up, 2 minutes each. Again, Marie Hopkins for Joe Powers.
Hello, good morning. My name is Marie Hopkins. I see a lot of familiar faces in the room. Some of you may know me. I ran for office. I'm a relative newcomer to the scene. Not here to speak. I did my best. Not here to speak about myself, of course. I'm here to speak about my friend Joe Powers. And I want to say this. If you don't like Joe Powers, blame me. If you like Joe Powers, please thank me, because it was me who asked Joe to join our movement. And we are on the move. This state, this party is going forward. We are unifying, we are bringing a new energy, and Joe is part of that. I see something in him that I hope all of you will see. Joe is a family man, he's a businessman, he's a successful man, and he has proven leadership skills. He ran an excellent campaign in Cranston. He brings experience, life experience, to the potential role that he could fill for us here. He has ambition to drive us forward, but mostly he has the passion to lead and unite. And I understand there are some excellent people that have been here for a long time, but what we need right now is an energized person who can bring us together, and that person is Joe. These are critical years, and Joe is a person to lead us forward. So I stand here proudly today to nominate him for chair of the Rhode Island State Republican Party, and I ask that you vote for my friend Joe.
And Joe Powers.
Well, good morning, and I'm not going to bore you all with the details. I've spoken to pretty much everybody in this room to go through everything that I've already talked about, what I've done, what I'm planning to do. However, I'm going to start by saying that the word I is no longer in our vernacular, is now we. We as a team who ran through 2022 have already united. We've already started making plans. We already started putting together processes that are going to help the candidates of tomorrow. Our intentions to move forward is to make sure that people outside of this room know who we are without having somebody else dictate who that person is. We are the ones that are going to make sure that we get to the microphone first. We're going to be the ones that show exactly what the Republican Party is all about. We're going to identify all of the right candidates. We're going to make sure we put the right candidates forward. We're going to make sure that they're ready, that they're prepared. In my world of business, everything is about strategy. Everything is about data, and everything is about planning. And if we don't plan, then we fail. And that's the game plan moving forward with the entire team, with everybody in this family that we call the Republican Party, to bring everybody together again, to be the ones that are going to show everyone who we are, and we are on the forefront of a real red wave that we will dictate, that we will ride, that we will control. We are the only ones that should have control over where this party goes, and that's how we're going to succeed when we move forward. I want to thank the executive board for having us all here today. Thank you all very much for your reports. I want to thank everybody here for actually showing up and being here for this amazing opportunity for us to move forward. So I proudly accept the nomination, and I second it as well. and I look forward to what we're going to start working on tomorrow. Thank you.
Keep moving. First Vice Chair nominations for Russ Bergeron. We have Will Grappentine and Russ. Where's Will? The answer to that is no.
You cannot suspend bylaws.
We can't suspend the bylaws.
You can only suspend parliamentary rules, bylaws require that you have disclosed your identity, your candidacy for a certain amount of time before the election. Bylaws trump Robert's rules of order. Right, Mr. Parliamentarian? Anybody else have a problem or an opinion? Huh?
Where are the bylaws?
Bylaws are either on the website. I did not bring a copy with me.
When you Google it, it doesn't come up.
Okay. What's your name?
What is your name?
My name is Steve Grimes.
Okay.
Do you want me to get you a copy? The reason I asked your name is
I
to give you a
think
copy.
everyone should know the bylaws. Everyone should have them.
Oh, let's get going. Come on,
I want to hear the bylaws.
let's just go.
Don't bypass the bylaws.
Good morning. I'm here today to nominate my friend, Russ Hergen, for first vice chair. I have had the pleasure of knowing and working with Russ Hergen for nearly 10 years. As chair of the Republican Liberty Caucus of Rhode Island, Russ has shown true leadership by showing balance and leading a ancillary statewide Republican group with the Republican Liberty Caucus. He's also become regional chair of the Republican Liberty Caucus, which is a national organization. The Republican Liberty Caucus in Rhode Island has helped multiple candidates funding ads and campaigns for state rep and state senate candidates across the state for multiple election cycles. As first vice chair, Russ has demonstrated time, talent, and treasure equally. That includes multiple years of service, time, ideas, and innovation, including donating a whole refurbishment of the headquarters, the RI GOP headquarters, as well as tech innovations that all candidates have been able to use. With that said, I strongly ask that you support my friend Russ Hergen and build on the leadership he has demonstrated so that our first vice chair can work with our state party and build a strong party going forward. Thank you.
Second, Russ.
Thank you very much, Will. I have been first vice chair for about 1.5 terms, recently filling the vacated the second half of the term for the prior first vice chair. Basically, it comes down to a track record of experience and commitment to the party. I've been part of this party for well over a decade. I've been elected to the party leadership. I've lost re-election to the party leadership. I have a track record of not walking away just because I lose an election. I've stayed involved. I've supported candidates, even when things didn't turn out my way, and I have a track record of doing so. I also have a track record, and Sue or Brandon or any former chair can attest. Anytime they've picked up the phone and called and needed something, I never said no. I've been there for the chair. The first vice chair, other than waiting for the chair to resign or depart office early, is there to support the chair. There are no other official responsibilities. And any immediate chair that's been in office while I've been a delegate can attest that I've been there whenever this party's needed me. I've got a track record of doing so. And I ask that, based on the experience and the reliability that I brought to the table as first vice chair and as a leader in other Republican groups, that you re-elect me as your RI GOP first vice chair.
out the door of the headquarters when that. True story. Next up, Jessica Day, Alan Myers, and Senator Gordon Rogers.
Morning, everybody. A lot of familiar faces here. I want to thank you all for showing up. I have the honor of nominating Jessica Day for the position of first vice chair. There's a lot of stuff written on this, but I can't look you in the face while I sit here and read this and mumble through it. So I'm just going to shoot from the hip like I usually do. I think I do better sometimes, as my leader will attest. So I've been around for a very long time. Longer than I'd like. I see a lot of new faces and I see a lot of old faces. I've been through a lot of elections. And something that was mentioned up there was very important. I'm going to add two other things to that. Unity was mentioned. I want to mention energy and determination. Like I said, I've been through a lot of elections. I've seen people come in, lose, try hard, some not try so hard, and then they disappear. One thing that I've seen in the last few years with a new group of faces is energy that I've never seen before, and determination that I admire, that even when they lose, they still want to be involved and fix it. Maria, Nick, Jessica, there's a whole lot that I haven't seen. And you don't see that too often. Determination and energy and unity. I've seen Jessica unite along with these other people to try and improve it. Russ has done a great job, but what I see coming from this body, I haven't seen in a long time, and it's with my honor that I nominate Jessica Day for first chair. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alan Myers from Tiverton, and I stand here today to nominate Jessica Day for first vice chair of the Rhode Island GOP. Jessica ran for General Assembly in 2022 and stood out amongst all the candidates. She had energy, enthusiasm, and most importantly, unity. She worked with other candidates, she locked arms, she walked with people on other campaigns just to try to get everyone over the top. Like so many of the 2022 slate, she fell just short, inches short of the finish line. Many of us did. But instead of going home and licking her wounds and saying, I'm never going to do this again, the next day, she jumped right back in the fray. She announced that she's going to run again. She started making phone calls, encouraging those people who ran to get back in. We all came close. We can get it over the top. We're a little bit more organized now. And since then, we've been working nonstop together. This year, Jessica rose to the position of the town chair of South Kingstown, and it almost immediately started locking arms with other towns, just to unify the West Bay. They even reached across the pond over our side in East Bay to lock arms with us and to work with us, who are doing the same thing. So we have a united front in this election. We're excited for what's going to happen here. Like, I'm surprised that some of the candidates over the last 2 weeks and even some of the meetings, they said that the vice chair is not an important job, it's mostly a status job, or it's a big nothing burger. I don't think Jessica got that memo, because she expects to start working the day after the election. She is dedicated to take those people who ran last year and are running again, that are stuck at the finish line, and get them into the winner's circle. And for that reason, I need your support and your vote for Jessica Day for first vice chair. Thank you.
Next up, nominations for second vice chair. First up is Dave Talon. So Emmanuel and Dave. And after that, it's Scott Bilhurst and Koya. Ayoka. I keep trying to change your name. I'm so sorry.
Greetings all. My name is Emmanuel Nyema, a very proud and loyal Republican. And I stand before you this morning to nominate my friend, Dave Talon. Dave has done much to help me, and he's done so much to help many of his fellow Republicans. With that, I stand before you to ask for your vote for my friend, Dave Talon. I vouch for him. Thank you.
Good morning, fellow Republicans. By now, you've read all my flyers and you know all the things I've been doing for the party for 59 years. You know about the things I've been doing as a volunteer activist in the community, including getting the only Republican Little League team in the entire state. And you know about the things I've been doing serving you as your second vice chair that I'll continue doing if I'm elected. Or even if I'm not elected, because people say, you know, we know you're going to be out there doing work for the party no matter what, so why don't you just step aside and let somebody else have the title? But the title is important because it opens up doors for me to deal with the news media, to deal with presidential campaigns, to deal with recruiting candidates and helping them there in the elections. If you know how to use the title, there's a lot of things you can do. I know how to use it, and I will use it to continue doing even more for you than I'd be able to do otherwise. Now, I'm glad that this race is coming to an end, because it's no fun running against right-thinking, conservative Ronald Reagan Republicans like myself. I want to go after Democrats, ultra-liberal, free spending, high taxing, big government, Clinton, Obama, Biden-loving, partisan, delusional Democrats who have what it takes to take what we have and are out to destroy the Constitution of the United States. And just as soon as you re-elect me here today, that's who I'm going after. So I want to thank you all in advance for voting for me today, and God bless all you good Republicans.
Next up, Scott Bilhurst, Lance, and Scott.
Good morning. I know you don't know me. You probably know me through my Facebook page. I'm a nice guy. Sounds like Joe Biden's story. I enjoy this, trust me. I have to be honest. I've been away from this public speaking role for a while because I used to be in front of large groups when I was involved in the Sonic organization. So I've had about a 3-year hiatus on this, so give me a break. I'll close my eyes here. Madam Chair, I place in the nomination for second vice chair Scott Bilhurst. I've known Scott for a long time. He's had a long career in public service and a native Rhode Islander. He has served 9 non-consecutive terms on the Hopkinton Town Council and 2 terms as Hopkinton Town Moderator. He has also served on the board of the Ashaway Fire District. He is also the former chair of the Hopkinton Republican Town Committee. He cares, he's involved with his committee, his community, he's out there. Scott is educated in political science and attended both URI and Rhode Island Junior College. I'm not going to say CCRI, I'm going to call it the way it is. That's where I was, Rhode Island Junior College. Outside of politics, he has served the community by holding various top range positions on the subordinate and promoter levels. He is also an active member of the Rhode Island Freemasons and a local Rhode Island Elks Lodge in Wesley, where he's a life member. Scott is also president of the Hopkinton Historical Association. He is in favor of closed primaries, as I am. The Second Amendment, and against paying dues by members of the Central Committee members. Madam Chair, with Scott's dedication to the Republican Party and his community, I place his name in nomination as second vice chair. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Scott Bill Hurst, and I place my name, I second my name for second vice chairman of the state Republican Party. I'm educated in political science. I've been elected 9 times to the Hopkinton Town Council. I'm in my 4th non-consecutive term as vice president of that town council. And I believe in standing for principle. And whatever I do, I represent my community and the Republican Party. I made the motion in Hopkinton to make Hopkinton a second sanctuary town. I stand for gun rights, and I had the power to do it. We won, and actually a Democrat actually voted with us, which kind of astounded me. But anyway. And I'm against dues for state committee members. I realize that finances are very important, but not everybody is financially equal, and everybody should share in the decisions of this state committee. And I also believe that we need to work together. And I've lost elections, and I've picked myself up and won again. You win some and you lose some. And you know, you can't boo-hoo and cry, whether or not you think you deserve an election or not. I've been president formally of my town's historical association. I've been a fire district governing body member. I've been moderator of the Ashway Fire District. I've been 2 terms moderator of the town of Hopkinton. I know how to run a meeting. I know something about political science. I'm a phenomenal Rhode Island history addict. I'm a prolific letter writer. And I've been involved in organizations. And I'm not afraid, pardon the expression, to kick Democratic ass when it has to be done, and I'll do that. And lastly, I believe that when you're under vice chair, there's only one chairman. And that's whoever's elected today. The vice chairman can have their own issues and own interests, but we got to remember there's only one chairman. There's only one chief, and it won't be me if I'm elected. I certainly will be involved in this party, but we got too many chiefs. We need more braves to do the work of this party and be able to work with each other. And I thank you, and I go after the local school system. Ask anybody in Charahoe. I am not afraid to take on the school bureaucracy, and that's my record. Thank you.
Next up is the nomination of Nayuka. We have Will Ritchie and Rep. Chippendale.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If I may first exercise a point of personal privilege, I just want to sincerely thank you to offer condolences or attended the services for my father over the past few days. Especially want to thank and recognize Chair Sankey, Jesus, Leanne, Dave Talon, Joe Powers, Jessica Drudet, Naoka Powell, Mayor Fung, and multiple YRs and others for coming, and thank you for the flowers as well. I'm also quite relieved not to be running for election as your treasurer and turning over the reins to someone new, so good luck with that. I rise to nominate my friend Naoka Powell for the office of second vice chair of the Rhode Island Republican Party. Despite not being the incumbent, Naoka received the overwhelming endorsement of the RI GOP nominations committee several weeks ago. First, I want to make it very clear they have nothing ill to say about either of her opponents, Dave Talon and Scott Bill Hurst, who I've known for approximately 46 years combined. They're both old friends who I know will continue to stay involved with the party one way or the other, regardless of the outcome today. I'm simply here to encourage you to give someone new a chance. With that said, although Nayoka may be new to some of you, she's not new to me. I knew her previous to her involvement with us, as in true Rhode Island fashion, her sister is engaged to my roommate. Given her strong personal convictions and conservative beliefs, I encouraged her to get more involved in the RI GOP, but honestly, she didn't really need the encouragement. She's hardworking, self-motivated, and always looking for ways to get involved and help others. She's a native of Jamaica and came here as a child legally and is a proud naturalized U.S. citizen. She has a beautiful little daughter named Naomi. She's a nurse and works in nearby Massachusetts as a healthcare clinic lead for a large manufacturing company. She's a conservative Republican, pro-life, Second Amendment, parental rights, member of the, with me, Providence Republican City Committee, and is also a state central delegate. She was also just elected as the co-vice chair of fundraising of the Providence GOP along with me when I stepped down as co-chair in January. As many of you know, we had a record number of candidates in Providence this cycle, and despite very long odds, Nayoka volunteered to run for state senate against an entrenched and very sympathetic incumbent. And although she didn't win, she worked very hard. She ran a credible and professional race, and it reflected very well upon the Providence GOP. In addition to her run for state senate, she went out of her way to assist other Republican candidates, walking door to door with them, attending their fundraisers, offering them advice, and just making herself available to help other Republicans. Just this last Saturday, she was instrumental, along with our co-chair, Chris Ireland, in organizing the Providence GOP's first ever participation in the Providence St. Patrick's Day Parade, which was a tremendous success. In addition, Nayoka is involved with the Federation of Republican Women, the local chapter of Turning Point USA, and America's Future. She's also involved with Blexit RI, which is a local group that encourages self-sufficiency and financial literacy, and amongst other things, encourages Black Americans to exit the Democratic Party and to give Republicans a chance. And for far too long, it seems like Republicans have kind of frankly, written off the black vote, and Democrats have sort of taken it for granted. I think we can begin to change that perception and maybe later the reality by electing party leadership that's a bit more reflective of our increasingly diverse state, and frankly, those who may be in a better position to build bridges into different communities and draw newer and younger people into the party so we can grow our party in the future. Again, I just want to strongly encourage you to vote Nayoka today for second vice chair of the RI GOP. Thank you very much.
Good day. It's with great optimism that I stand here to second this nomination. In the last election cycle, a spirit, a soul, and energy came onto the scene that, frankly, overtook the entire room. Nayoka Powell brings such a departure from what people want to contrive as the image of a Republican. And she does it from a place of passion, from a place of commitment, with great energy, and with a smile that frankly would light up any room she's ever in. She is a remarkable individual, the embodiment of the American dream. She's pro-life, she's pro-conservative, she's pro-gun, she's pro-God. Most importantly, she's pro-Republican. We just heard about her career in healthcare and everything that she's done. And people who go into healthcare do so because they are loving, caring, compassionate people. And that perfectly describes Nayoka. She's a mama bear, and she'll metaphorically rip your jugular out if you get between her and who she loves. We do have a lot to look forward to, folks. And I'm not going to repeat what others before me have said. I am extremely excited, and I am very proud to second Nayoka's nomination.
Next up, we have Nominations for Treasurer, Secretary, National Committeewoman. I've been told by my Executive Director 2 minutes or less. Please keep it short. For Lance Chappelle, Scott Billhurst, and Lance. Come on, guys. You're gonna lose your spot. After that, Secretary Mary Lou Sanborn, Linda Jameson, Michelle Pickering, and for me, Tom Carroll and Jen Hirons. Please get to the stage so we can start the voting. Come on, Scott. Let's go. You now have 1 minute and 3 seconds.
Greetings again. I have a great pleasure of nominating Lance Chappelle for Treasurer of the Rhode Island Republican State Central Committee. I know Lance through Republican politics. He's a fixture at the South County Republican Breakfast, but I also know him as a Freemason. And I just want to talk about Lance and say why he's very important to have as a treasurer. And I had talked to him about the position. He has been involved with the Masonic Grand Lodge Charities, which is deals with millions of dollars. And he did serve a term as CEO of that. And like I said, it deals with millions of dollars. And he has increased scholarships to young people, so he can relate to young people because he is one of the staff for them scholarship-wise. And increased the funding during his one-year term. Increased the funding of the scholarship by 50%. And I believe the 10 million was maybe. I'll let him clarify that. He grew up in East Providence. He's a proud graduate of East Providence High School. He also attended Rhode Island Junior College and Rhode Island University, which he has a degree in electrical engineering. So he's a numbers type of guy. He knows math. Also, been very involved. He's been treasurer of the Science Lodge. St. Andrews, 2002, 2010. You say a lot about him. What I think I admire most about him is he's an OPS type of guy. He's smart, he's assertive, he will tell you like it is, and that he's what we need in the Republican Party. And he also has the attitude, which I think is very important. He doesn't know, he's interested in talking. I know I mentioned Dave Sheffield to him, so he can do this job for the Republican Party. Because being treasurer is a very important role, and certain reports have to be filed. So he's ready to serve the state Republican Party, and I stop there.
I've been told to keep it short, so I'll second my own nomination. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Linda Jameson, and I'm a member of the Jamestown Republican Town Committee, and I am proudly here to nominate Mary Lou Sanborn for Secretary of the State Central Committee. I think everyone in this room probably has come in contact with Mary Lou, but I will, so I'll keep this short. She is the hottest working, most energetic, passionate Republican that I know. She has great vision, would like to continue on in this position so that we get more Republicans elected from town council, school committee, state, nationally. So I hope that you will vote for Mary Lou Sanborn. Thank you.
And I'm Michelle Pickering, and I've had the pleasure of working with Mary Lou as she regenerated our Jamestown Republican Committee. And I am honored and proud to second her nomination for Secretary of our Republican Party.
And last is for National Committeewoman. Just so everybody knows, this is for a 1 year to finish out Leanne's term. There will be another election in June of 2024, so this is just to complete Leanne's term. And it's Tom Carroll and Jen Irons.
Good morning. My name is Thomas Carroll. I'm the chairman of the Bristol Republican Town Committee, and I've been a member of this committee since the early 2000s. And I can tell you that I have not seen this much energy in a room in a long time. Fresh faces, fresh energy. I'm proud to be a Republican and proud to be here to make this nomination. So thank you for being here. I had a speech. I'm not going to take it out of my pocket. I'm supposed to be brief, so I'm going to give a couple of personal experiences with Sue, my experiences with Sue. I met Sue when she was running for chair a few years ago, and we met for a cup of coffee in a coffee shop in East Greenwich. It was supposed to be a short meeting. 3 hours later, after Sue laid out her plans for the committee, what her vision was, her intention to be around for years to come, her political experiences, which I had read about in the paper, and there were many. About towards the end of the meeting, the sitting Democratic chairman of the town council joined us for coffee. And what ensued was another half hour of respectful discussion. You could see the respect and feel the respect between the two of them. But coming from him, he was looking for her experience or insights on a local contentious issue. And I saw the qualities in Sue that we've all come to see and realize, in her 4-year tenure as chair. I then later had the honor of being a delegate to the 2020 National Convention and joined Sue and others in North Carolina, the very brief and special National Convention. Immediately I saw Sue's networking, respect that she had garnered with her fellow peers at the national level, and just really enjoyed the convention because of Sue, Steve, Leanne, and others who were there in attendance. I've since attended several national committee meetings as a guest of Sue. And again, I can't say enough about, first of all, Leanne. I echo everything that Sue said about Leanne and her efforts there, Steve. But again, Sue's networking capabilities, the respect, the tenacity in which she approaches Rhode Island's needs at the national level. I'm not going to say anything about the things that have already been said, the funding she secured, the programs she secured. She's the right person for this job, and I'm honored to place her name in nomination for National Committeewoman. Thank you.
Good morning, Jennifer Hirons from Smithfield, Rhode Island. I'm here to second the nomination for National Committeewoman Sue. Before I start, I wanted to say thank you to Leanne for the number of years that you have served for us. With that being said, I just want to second the nomination for National Committeewoman for Sue.
Pay attention quickly. We want to get this done as quickly as we possibly can. There are 3 tables inside the first room. When I call out your city or town, please go to that table, grab your ballot, and then proceed to the second room, and there will be people guiding you. So everybody up here that is an officer, you will go to table 1. The Federation of Republican Women, Young Republicans, and College Republicans, go to table 1 to go vote. All our honorary members and our legislators, please go to table 1. At-large delegates, please go to table 1.
I'm here with Joe Powers, who's running for Rhode Island GOP chairman. Joe, what are your thoughts heading into the election? Voting's currently underway.
You know, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear what the delegates have to say, who it is that they want to move forward. Either way, we've got an awesome opportunity here to move this party in the right direction. All Republicans in the state of Rhode Island and really start putting the right candidates.
Next up,
Thank you, Joe. I'm with Giovanni Ciccione, former party chair from 2007 to 2011, and he's currently the other candidate for party chair. Gio, what are your thoughts heading into the election? Voting's currently underway.
Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. The party gets to decide, and so we'll have to see what the result is. But Joe's a great candidate, and I think no matter what happens, the party's in good hands.
Thank you, Gio.
As the voting is being counted in the room next door, we are going to have legislative updates from our 2 leaders in the House and the Senate. I do not see Rep. Chicken down, so there he is. You want me to let Jessica go first? Okay, so first up is our Senate Minority Leader, the Honorable Senator Jessica DeLong.
How is everyone's day? It's an exciting day. I'm excited to be here today. I'm a little bit sad that Sue is no longer chairwoman. She's done a fabulous job, I have to say. I think it's underappreciated how she had to juggle so many different personalities, and she did it in such a way that I don't know if anyone else can match that kind of skill. And I have to thank Jesus as well. Whenever I had a question, needed some help for candidates, he was quick and he was a wealth of information. So gotta give kudos to those 2 individuals. Before I get started on the legislative update, if I'm just going to ask, I know I'm going to embarrass him, but I'm just going to ask Senator DeLuca to stand up and face the crowd. Yeah. Senator DeLuca took the spot of the majority leader in the Senate, Senator McCaffrey, and he has been a great addition to our team. He's got enthusiasm, he's got the drive, and he's got the dedication, and he's going to be a great senator. Those of you who know Leanne, amazing woman, very sweet lady. I absolutely love her, and which is why I stole her and brought her to the Republican office in the Senate. She's helping us out in the Commons position, so writing speeches and helping getting our message out to the media and to the public, and she's already doing a great job. And I know that we're going to expand our reach because of the work that she's already started. And of course, there's Brandon Bell, our attorney and chief of staff extraordinaire. So we've got a great team in the Senate office, and I look forward to doing great things with our team. I'm not going to shoot from the hip like Senator Rogers did. I brought notes. He's really good at, on the Senate floor, he's sharp, he's fast, and he's very witty. So I'm gonna go with my notes. The Senate caucus, Minority Caucus, has worked very hard to put forth legislation that is designed to let taxpayers keep more of their money and return autonomy back to the people, particularly in the areas of business regulation and education. The Senate committee process is in full swing. We meet several times a week to hear bills, and we've recently begun twice weekly Senate floor sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 o'clock if you want to join us in the gallery, watch what's happening, more than welcome to join us. All of the bills that the Senate Republicans have submitted will have far-reaching impact. And because of that, I'm excited to have these bills heard in committee. And the reason for that is so that we can have meaningful discussions on these pieces of legislation. I'm going to get a teeny bit wonky with you just for a second to talk about one of the bills that I absolutely love, and I'm going to be working with Rep. Newberry on the House side. It's Senate Bill 499, and it's a bipartisan piece of legislation, believe it or not, with even progressives on it. And I don't know if you guys heard of the Climate Change Coordinating Council. It's also known as Rhode Island's Green New Deal. Remember that about 2 years ago? Yes. Yeah. The legislation would mandate the disclosure of human rights abuses in nations that mine and manufacture carbon-free technology. And it would prohibit the use of materials derived from child and slave labor. And the reason why we did this was there's such hypocrisy on how we obtain materials and key components for green energy. And everyone I talk to is not against green energy, and neither am I. But such as utilizing child and slave labor, inhumane working conditions, human rights violations, severe and catastrophic consequences to the geography and the resources that are being exploited. So I'm going to move on from there, because that one was a little wonky. I'm going to talk about other bills that our caucus has sponsored. We've had several bills aimed at letting taxpayers keep more of their money, their hard-earned money. So we've introduced a sales tax bill, because lowering the sales tax to 5% would benefit hardworking Rhode Islanders. Not a select few Rhode Islanders, but all Rhode Islanders, and we want to see all Rhode Islanders save some money. Senator Rogers has submitted legislation to refund future surpluses to taxpayers like other states do. Senator Morgan has submitted legislation to completely eliminate the state income tax on Social Security. I gotta give her a Senator Paolino has submitted legislation to end the death tax, because let's be honest, Rhode Island is already tough to live. Let's not make it tough to die here too. We're looking at tangible tax and personal property tax relief for small businesses. And on education, I submitted legislation enabling school choice.
Yes.
And the funding to go with the child, as well as parental oversight and the authority to know what their children are learning in school. Senator Morgan has submitted the Rights of Students Act, which provides protections for students and parents against discrimination on the basis of religious viewpoint or religious expression in schools. She's also submitted bills for fairness in women's sports and Parents' Bill of Rights. Senator Rogers has submitted legislation to strengthen the Castle Doctrine and to address low and moderate income housing issues. And if you haven't, you probably will soon, because he's been on a statewide tour to all the town councils that want to learn a little bit more about it. So if you do have some questions, you should catch him on his way out. Give him a little wave there. Senator Paolino is tackling tax credits for scholarships. Our freshman senator, Senator Anthony DeLuca, has put in bills to restrict the government, pull them back, rein in the governor in. When it comes to states of emergencies and addressing vaccine mandates. I gotta say I'm proud. I'm very proud of the work that our caucus is doing. And this is just a small sampling. There's so much more, and we're hopeful to see some more bills move in committee. And while we do draft and submit legislation, that's a large part of what we do. It's not the only thing that we do. We also play a lot of defense. I recently spoke in committee against repealing voter ID and protecting religious exemptions for groups like Little Sisters of the Poor. Our voice at the State House is your voice at the State House, and it's important that we bring an alternative viewpoint. Also, like to say, like the voice of reason there at the State House. So, all of which I may add is available available for you to watch on Capitol TV. If you can't be in person and you want to come and have a chance to watch us in action, I encourage you to do so. They're all on the Capitol TV. So when you're done with Netflix and Prime this weekend and watching your shows, give Capitol TV a try. If you're looking for a few episodes, and I'm going to call them episodes, let me know. I'll tell you which ones are the good ones. And lastly, over the past 4 years, our Senate caucus has been sharing our hard work in committee, on the Senate floor, and out in the community on social media. And people often ask me, how can Republicans get their message out? Well, I'm asking you to help me in doing that. Go to the Senate Republicans page, give us a like, share our content, because we have a reach, but then you have a reach. And if you help us, then we grow exponentially in our reach. So I ask you to do that this weekend, and thank you for your time. And I gotta introduce now the amazing, the articulate, where is he? My counterpart in the House, Senator, Representative Leader Trippett.
I don't know if I was just given a demotion or a promotion. Hello. I'm blessed to be here. I really am. I'm blessed to be here with all of you. I'm blessed to have an amazing counterpart in the Senate, in Senator Dela Cruz, Leader Dela Cruz. I'm blessed to have the staff that we have in the House Minority Office, starting with, most importantly, Sue Stenhouse. Please stand, Sue. House Counsel Dan Riley, who I believe is still here. If not, yep, he's in the back. My colleague and number 2 representative and House Minority Whip David Place is in the back. Along with the longest serving legislative Republican in Rhode Island, Brian Newberry. So I won't recap specific policies because Leader Dela Cruz just touched on every single one, and we are doing the same in the House, and I'm happy to report. There's one issue that we are dealing with very intimately in the House, and that is affordable housing. And this is an issue that has created a lot of conversation in the state, and I think it's healthy conversation. I firmly believe that there is a lot of misunderstanding on the issue as well. And it's my hope and it's our aim to clear up any misunderstandings and to identify where truly problematic language or policy exists and deal with that appropriately through the process. That's simply what we do, and we will continue to do that to ensure that our municipalities are heard. But make no mistake, housing is an issue, particularly affordable housing. I have 2 wonderful adult children living in my house, who frankly I don't want living in my house. That was just a joke, I love them dearly. But they can't afford to buy their own, and that's not a good place to be as a state. So, you know, we have been labeled as, and we've heard a lot of talk about us being the party of no. Of course we're the party of no. No more taxes, no loss of liberty, no more stupid taxpayers being raised for corporate welfare. Yes, we're the opposition party. Of course we're the party of no. Embrace it and be proud of it. There's nothing wrong with bringing the other side of the argument. That's our lot in life, and we proudly carry that banner every day that we go in that building. Yeah. Absolutely. I think we have a lot of really good policy in the pipeline. We are also under, in the 13 years I've been doing, an unprecedented workload of bills. The number of bills put in is unprecedented, and the number of committees we have is unprecedented. So that means we're spending a lot of time in committee to hear, understand, and try to improve legislation. We've had calendars with 30 bills per committee, pretty much since about a month ago. It is a lot of heavy lifting to understand and engage in the policy, but again, that's what we do and that's what we love, and we will always do that. We need you to tell us what you want, what you believe, and what you don't believe so that we can best represent all of you. I think we do a great job, but we can always do better, so share with us, and we're here for you, because you're always here for us. I could go on all day, but I'm not going to. Again, the policies that Leader Del Cruz outlined are the most important policies that we're tackling. And there are so many others that we also have in the pipeline that are equally important in different areas that we are committed to fighting to represent our values, what we stand for, and what you believe in. I thank you all for being here today. While I'm still here, I'm going to address something I just neglected to do from the beginning. I want to thank every single person who is currently serving on the RI GOP in any official capacity, and everyone who will be after the results are released serving. I want to thank them all for stepping up, for working hard, for doing everything they've done, always. And it's a thankless job to do, but we have such amazing people doing it. And I'm grateful for them. And I just wanted to say thank you. And to the outgoing chair, Susie Yankee, I want to thank her personally for everything she's done.
Okay, we're just still waiting for the counting, and as soon as that's done, I'll announce the results. Announce the results as soon as we're done, so hang on. And I couldn't have done my job without those two leaders up there. It's been seamless, so we've got a great, small but mighty and loud caucus, so thank them. I'll go check on the voting. Okay, everybody, I have the results. I'm going to announce the chair first, and when I announce the chair, I'd like that candidate to come up here, because I will hand them the gavel, and then I'm done. And they can announce the rest. So, chair. Between Joe and Gio, the winner is Joe.
Yeah.
Said, a happy day of your life is when you get elected chair. But the happiest day of your life is when there's a new chair. So, happy days are here.
It's so technological. My goodness. Okay, everybody after me. Recount. I didn't hear you. So first, so let me just go through and I'll just do all the results. I don't want to keep everybody hanging. I don't want to be the one for holding everybody up. Because I heard some people have a couple of nail appointments, hair appointments. I'm pretty sure I have an open house later today, but we'll figure that out later. So first off, thank you to everybody who showed up today. Thank you to everybody who actually voted and took the time to be here. This is an amazing moment. I also want to thank Gio. We had a great time, I think. I know more about you in less time than I did people that I actually have in my own family. So I think that's awesome. We'll definitely be talking because I'm going to leverage every ounce of experience you talked about, and I welcome it. And everybody else who's been part of the party for more than 5 seconds, we're going to be talking as well. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So let's get to these results. So in the first chair position, we had, somebody didn't have spell check on their pen, apparently. So we had Russ as the incumbent, and we had Jess as the as the opponent. So the score is, ladies and gentlemen, I hand you your first new vice chair, Jessica Drew Day. Yeah, so next we had a three-way. So we had Dave Talon, we had Bill, and we had Nyoka, which I practiced numerous times over, and she gave me the phonetic spelling as well. And I give you your new second vice chair, ladies and gentlemen, Liz Nyoka Powell. Moving right along, for National Chairwoman, surprise, Ms. Susie Yankee. That was Gordon, not me. For Treasurer, Lance. And of course, Madam Secretary, Miss Mary Lou Sanborn. So I guess I'll kick this off, and unlike earlier, I actually wrote this down to keep this nice and simple. Very simply put, I wanted to make sure that I was poignant with my information simply because there's a lot of people to thank, and I really don't want to forget anybody. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Chairwoman Susie Yankee for her tireless work and dedication to the entire Rhode Island Republican Party, and I wish her nothing but the best as she steps into her new role as the National Committeewoman. So let's give it up for Chairwoman Susie. To the veteran members of the Executive Board, thank you for your continued dedication and loyalty, supporting the party and all of its members. To the new members of the Executive Board, I hope that you got your work boots on, because we got some work to do. Yeah! To all the delegates that I have had the honor and the privilege to get to know over the last year, and more recently, the members with whom I've met with on my bid to become chair, thank you for your answering my phone calls, my texts, my emails, inviting me to your committee meetings, and especially, I want to thank you all for the words of encouragement such as, "What the hell were you thinking? You must be insane to do this." That was Gio. And my personal favorite, "If you're not a religious man, you're going to find Jesus real quick." Just so we're clear, our focus for the future of the party is going to be centered around growth. We're going to be working on growing our fundraising efforts, growing the infrastructure of the party, and growing our communication with the party as a whole and with the public. But most importantly, we're going to be growing the party to include all the unaffiliated voters who have supported us in the past and welcome in new supporters and new party members for the future of the party as a whole. Now, it's no secret that we got a lot of work to do, and I'm encouraged by the fact that we've got the talent, we've got the team, we've got the mindset, and most importantly, we've got the drive. All we needed was the opportunity, and the opportunity is ours now, and that starts today. In closing, you almost had me at closing, you went too quick. So for my next half, in closing, I'd like to thank my babies, Michael, Stephen, Rebecca, Joey, and Macy. You've all meant the entire world to me and continue to remain in my heart forever, so thank you very much for all of your support. And finally, to the most amazing woman I've ever met in my entire life, my wife, Julie. Your support has meant more to me than you'll ever know. Words cannot express how much I love and appreciate you for allowing me to be part of an amazing team that's going to fix Rhode Island. If you need anything over the next 2 years, call my office. Because that's where I'll be, getting the job done. Now, my wife is a meticulous cleaner, so I don't have any more pixie dust because she vacuumed it up. And because of the high energy costs in the state of Rhode Island, I had to burn my wand to get energy into the house. So we got to work together, we're going to forge together, and we're going to make this party bigger and better than it's ever been before. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank you all for your confidence in me. And I want to thank my loving husband, Michael. He's more excited over this than I am. He was all week, he's like, did you do this? Did you call that one? So I just, I have his support, and I'm so blessed to have all of you. And we are building a team, and I'm just excited about what's coming in the future and what we can all do together. And, January 11th, I started on the phone calling people to step up for their city committees. The city committees, to me, are the backbone of the party, and we have 13 new chairs in Rhode Island, and they're energized and excited about building their city committees. And I just want to let you know, if anyone knows anybody in Woonsocket, North Providence, Cumberland, we're looking to build our city committees there, especially with the CD1 race that's coming. And anyone who's looking to be a candidate for CD1 or for their city, in their city's town council races, the state seats, or even, governor in the future. We're looking for candidates. And I am going to be continuing to work with you all. And if you need me, Google me, and you'll find my phone number, and call me. And I'm just looking forward to this year, rebuilding the party, strengthening the party, working on mail-in ballots. My mind is going a million miles an hour because there's so much that we have to do. Thank you so much.
Your presence today. I am so happy and thankful for Sue. I'm so happy and thankful for Jesus. When I ran in Senate District 1 in Providence, I knew it was going to be quite the feat. I was going up against someone that was in office longer than I've been born. And I was like, oh, I can do this, I can do this. Obviously I didn't, but can't count that out yet. But I thank you so much. I ran for this seat because I felt like there was more to me to give to this party. Because so many people felt that I could be senator in Providence. That so many felt that what I had to give back to this community was well worth the investment. And that is what I want to share with you guys. I encourage every single one of you to reach out to me from your cities, from your towns, from your states, even if you're not in Rhode Island. Maybe you want to know about Rhode Island. I want to be there. I want to help you grow your towns. I want to help you grow your committees. I want to help you understand what is happening in Rhode Island. And Rhode Island is changing, clearly. I'm here now. But that change couldn't happen without the family unit. That change doesn't happen without you protecting the ones you love. That change doesn't happen if you're not educating your children and protecting them and helping them understand what they're going to tackle when they leave your house. I know you're trying to get rid of them, but they're not going anywhere. But at the end of the day, we have to thank our family. We have to thank the people who have gone through it with us, who have been up with me bawling my eyes out because I felt like I had no energy left, but I did. So Armando, it goes without saying, you are my rock. You're my absolute rock. And I can't wait to start. I'm already itching to start something, so someone give me something to do.
This will go short, so don't get nervous. First off, I'd like to thank the nominating committee for their endorsement and the party for your support. Looking forward to the important task at hand. I do wish to thank Sue Sankey personally, honestly. We had breakfast, and I said, it's time to change something here. I wasn't expecting such a challenging race, but that's also okay. I'm going to depart from this. There's one thing that I think needs to happen here in this party. We got to kick it, okay? And I'll set an example.
We're gonna win.
We're
gonna win.
You're going to win is right. And I'll set you the example. This actually happened to me. I got a panic call from one of the gang that we involved with on our taxpayers group. Now, I used to be with, I don't know whether you people remember this group, it used to be called the Rhode Island Statewide Coalition. This was Harry Staley's, the late Harry Staley's group. And I was working the website and the internals of that whole operation and got it moving. Something came back to me. I got a call from one of my associates over there that says, I got an emergency. I said, what's the emergency? I said, I've got a candidate for state rep. She's elected, but she's afraid she's going to lose it. I just said, okay, so what's her name? I won't give the name out, but I said, okay, let me talk to her. Let me talk to her. And we had a long meeting, and I ended up being her campaign manager and her treasurer with 10 weeks left in the campaign. And I looked at her, I looked at the whole situation, I said, this sucker's winnable. It's winnable. And I said to her, it's your race to lose, not for her to win. She won it. And she won it by 350 points in each town. You've got to have the spirit, you've got to have the push to win. As long as you're out there campaigning and knocking doors, and you're doing your fundraiser, you will win that race. It works in here too. I had the same situation going on inside the fraternity. It always comes down to money, right? Money makes, you gotta have the grease to keep the thing going. You got the same thing going on here. We as a party have to support our candidates. It's a fact. It's hard to do it because the Democrats have a money mill. Create your own money mill. That's what's needed. If you want to win races, you've got to get your money straightened out. That's the bottom line here. Again, I look forward, thank you. I look forward to working with the team to get this party moving, and it will move. And I will be making some runs around the state. One thing you guys have got to remember, you don't know me, but I did used to work for the public, I worked for the power company. So I know where all you live. This will be fun, it's a good adventure. I'm looking forward to it, and thank you for your support.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the first act, might be the first to say, that's all, folks. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Can I get a second? Second. Meeting adjourned.
So, Nayoka, you just won the race for second vice chair. How are you feeling?
I feel amazing, and in true anchor woman spirit, I am ready to work.
That is true. You are indeed a RIC alumna, as is Joe. How does it feel to have that kind of RIC connection?
It's amazing to see because, you know, all of the other people that run for office are from all these prestigious schools, and they think that, you know, Little Rhode Island College can't produce anything, you know, that is worthy of the State House. So here we are in politics and, you know, ready to drive change because we are the people that are being affected by a lot of things going on right now. So we're going to work as hard as we can to bring this party back to where it needs to be.
And it looks like there's now a new era in leadership. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's amazing. I think it's reflective of the times. I think it is something that no one can deny that we are following along with, enjoying what the culture of the state has to offer. And that means bringing in new talent and bringing in a much better way to communicate with everybody with an understanding at a very fundamental level.
And it sounds like the work now starts now?
Oh gosh, yes, it started yesterday.
What's the game plan for 2024?
Oh wow, the game plan is to just be ready for anything and know how to put out the fires and know how to bring in some more flowers, right? We're gonna, you know, work in a team spirit and work with everybody in mind, and if someone needs help, we got to be there to help them. We're not going to just shun people away. We're going to do what we can in the most logistical way.
That's all I had. Thanks, Nayoka. Jessica, congratulations on becoming the party's new first vice chair. What are your thoughts now being in this new role with the party?
So I'm excited about the first vice chair position. The reason being is because I want to grow the party, and this will give me access to the state database. So when I'm out recruiting people, I can easily find out. People don't know who their representative and senators are, so I can easily look that information up. I'm also looking at growing the party from a grassroots effort and the city committees across the state, strengthening the existing committees, and also there's a couple towns that we need committees, so I'm looking to build those up and just be whatever the chair needs. So Joe Powers, the new chair, I have a relationship with him in Nayoka, and I'm looking to just support the party and work with them and grow the party.
Speaking of Nayoka and Joe, all three of you were elected kind of essentially as like a de facto team. It's basically now a new era of leadership, 3 new faces in the top 3 positions. How is that feeling now serving alongside with Joe and Nayoka?
So working with Joe and Nayoka, I'm excited because we're like-minded people. We're focus-driven, and we answer each other back right away. It's a very clear answer. It's not a wishy-washy answer. So when people ask me a question, I give a very clear yes or no. And with the party moving forward, we're going to work as a machine together. And we understand each other. So it's an exciting new era for the Republican Party moving forward.
Speaking of moving forward, 2024, alongside with the CD1 2023 special, for the next 2 elections, I'm assuming the party are going to focus on starting like right now. What's the game plan for CD1 in 2024?
So CD1 race is a very exciting special election. We haven't had any candidates confirm that they're going to run yet. But whoever it is, they're going to have the full support of the party, and we're going to work to grow the committees in those areas as well, and to strengthen the party from the grassroots up. So that's what we're looking to do, and in 2024, we're going to look to be ready and have our candidates trained and ready. So if anyone's thinking about running in 2024, now is actually the time to contact us and tell us that you're interested, whether it's for a city position, a state position, or even a federal position. We're looking for these people to come forward now. That would be great because then we can get a lot of the preliminary work done rather than trying to get it all done in a short time. I'm a preparer. If you come to my house for Thanksgiving, I set my table a week beforehand because I want to enjoy the day and enjoy the family, because I feel like that's what Thanksgiving's about. So an election is very similar. We want to get people trained up, ready to go, so that they can enjoy the time of talking with constituents at the door and going and all the other things that come along with that. So that's what we're looking to do.
That was all the questions I had. Jessica, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate it.
Joe, first off, congratulations on becoming the new party chairman for the Rhode Island GOP. What's that feeling like?
I'll let you know when it sinks in, actually. I'm probably going to feel it tonight, but we'll see. We'll see. It's exciting for right now, though.
And it's also, sounds like it's exciting for the whole party, as there was a lot of enthusiasm. There's now a new face of leadership, basically a new era. Yourself, Jessica Drew for first vice chair, and Naoka Powell for second vice chair. What's that feeling like now serving alongside Jessica and Naoka?
Well, I'll tell you what, the energy is it's infectious between the two of them. It's been an amazing run. I can't thank everybody enough for coming out and actually helping out with the campaign, making the phone calls, spending the time to go to the meetings and everything. And Naoka and Jess and the entire executive board and everybody is just going to do an amazing job. There's a ton of energy. It's just got to be able to hold on and harness the energy and actually focus it in the right direction.
It sounds like also the work starts now when it comes to CD1 special election in 2024.
Yeah, that's going to be that's our first hurdle. That's what we're definitely going to be focused on right now. Yeah.
What's the game plan in terms of that race in 2024?
I'm a strategy guy. I'm a data-driven guy, like I mentioned earlier. I'm going to start pulling all the information. We're going to start talking to the right candidates, make sure we get the right people in order. So we're definitely going to have a process in place. We just haven't started it yet, so I don't want to kind of peek behind the curtain just yet.
That's all I had. Joe, thank you so much.
Beautiful. Ray, thanks, buddy.
And congratulations.
I appreciate it.